All right, we're continuing on with Violet and the Pie of Life. Oh, Chapter 12. Surprising things about Allie. Her house is only about 1,200 square feet, and it's pretty messy. She has twin little sisters. Allie's parents are old, like at least 50. Oh my. Wow, that is old. I mean, Poppy's 54 reading this to you. Oh my. They are old. Allie's sisters and parents are tall and have pretty blue eyes like Allie, but their skin color doesn't match hers. Allie always looks like she just came out of a tanning salon. The rest of the family is white. They aren't just white. They're spent their lives in a cave, have to put on sunblock every 45 minutes. White. At dinner, Allie did a hilarious imitation of our French teacher saying, "Bonjour, children," and fluttering hands like a flock of birds. When the twins told knock-knock jokes, Allie's parents gave them adoring looks. Knock-knock jokes were really dumb. For example, knock-knock. Knock. Oh, that's right. I have to do that. Who's there? Yeah. Yahoo! I'm excited to see you too. Oops. Allie's parents also gave each other adoring looks. Dinner at Allie's house was about 250% louder than dinner at mine. Mackenzie's house noise is probably in the middle. She said she and her mom eat while watching Wheel of Fortune. Loudness scale. My house. Mackenzie's house, a little bit louder. Allie's house, a lot louder, because she's saying it's like there, but yeah, it's bigger. And then my house with fighting, really, really loud. It wasn't fair that Allie was beautiful and popular and a great singer and funny and had two nice, happy parents, except her sisters were annoying. Sometimes I wish I had a sister or a brother, but that night I was grateful I didn't. After Allie and I cleared the dinner table, we went to her bedroom. It was even tinier than mine, barely fitting a twin bed, a tall, narrow dresser with clothes piled on top, and a small closet. It was cute, though, with butter yellow walls and thick comforter and a pink and yellow daisy print on her bed. Nice room, I said. Thanks, I like it, even though it doesn't fit all my stuff. She gestured to her dresser. I get tons of hand-me-down clothes from my mom's boss's daughter. My sister's room is bigger, but they have to share. I wondered whether my mom liked having her own room now that my dad had moved out. I frowned. Maybe she loved it. Allie and I sat facing each other on her bed with our scripts on our legs. Allie kept her sneakers on, so I kept my boots on. My feet were dying of pain, but the embarrassment of possibly stinking up Allie's bedroom with smelly feet would make my heart die of pain, which was worse. We started with Allie cueing me for lion scenes. I knew about 80% of my lines. Then I cued Allie. She had about 3 times more lines than me, but she barely memorized anything. Her nose kept wrinkling up as she tried to remember her lines. Even with a wrinkled up nose, Allie looked beautiful. Life is so unfair. If I wrinkle my nose, I just look weird. Hey, Zemo. I was glad Mackenzie couldn't see me now. I knew I shouldn't be here with her worst enemy, but I was, and I was having fun. Zemo. I was having fun. After a few minutes, Allie turned her script upside down, covered her face in her hands, and said, "I'll never ever remember all this. If there was an understudy to do my part, I'd quit right now." I looked away. Mackenzie had wanted to play Dorothy so badly if she ever found out what Allie had just said, she'd call her a drama queen. She'd say, "How dare Allie take the best part in the play and then act like it's such a burden? She has everything, and now she wants sympathy, too." And she'd be right. I narrowed my eyes and turned towards Allie. Oh no, she was crying. It was a delicate cry. She barely made a sound, but tears dripped down her chin. I didn't know what to say, so I just said, "Allie?" It came out like a question. "Sorry," she murmured. "You must think I'm a spoiled, attention-seeking baby." "I don't," I said, even though I sort of had been thinking that. She moved her hands away from her face. The tears trickled slowly now. "I don't know how I can learn my part. There's just so many lines. It's too much. I'm not smart like you." "Me? It takes me forever to memorize stuff. I'll mess up the play, and everyone in the cast and my parents will be so upset. Except the mean people at school who love when other kids mess up." "They're just jealous," I said. I couldn't help picturing Mackenzie when I said it. "They shouldn't be." Allie wiped the tears from her cheeks, and then, "They shouldn't act so mean." I bit my lip. Was Mackenzie mean? Was I? "Listen," I said, "you should study the script extra hard to show the jealous people you deserve the part." Allie slowly nodded. "Yeah, but then one more tear dripped down her cheek. I'm also scared that if I screw up, some people will say Dorothy was never supposed to have dark skin." I don't know how to respond. I hadn't thought about what color Dorothy's skin was or what color it should be. I figured Allie was the right person to play Dorothy because she sang Somewhere Over the Rainbow the best and acted so well. "Hey, thanks for listening, Violet." Allie's sweet voice broke into my thoughts. "I feel bad," I said. "You feel bad too?" Allie asked. "I mean, I feel bad you have to worry about people saying bad stuff." "Thanks. I should stop feeling sorry for myself." I tried to think of something else to say. I wasn't used to comforting people. Plus, it was hard to concentrate while my feet were throbbing. Finally, I just said, "Let's continue where we left off," which sounded like a teacher phrase. Someone knocked on Allie's door, even though it was partway open. "What?" Allie said in that irritated tone I used when my mom knocked on my door. The door swung open. Allie's parents stood in the doorway so close to each other they could have been a two-headed person. "How are you girls doing?" Allie's mom asked. She and Allie's dad wore identical, dorky, eager smiles. "Fine," Allie said. "We have Oreos if you want. Double stuff. They're in the kitchen," her dad said. Allie sighed as if he just told her celery was in the kitchen. "We're trying to work here." After her parents left, Allie said, "They're always checking up on me." My mom does that too. My dad especially, he hovers over me like he doesn't trust me to take care of myself. My dad trusted me. Why wouldn't he? I never did anything bad. Maybe if I did something bad, my dad would come home. I would have to be very bad, so bad Mom couldn't handle it herself. "I wish they didn't butt in like that," Allie said. I leaned toward her. "Why don't your parents trust you? Did you do something really bad?" "I didn't," she said. "Their daughter did." "One of your little sisters?" "Huh? Oh." Allie shook her head. "Long story. Sorry." "Not your fault." Allie shrugged, but she was frowning. "It's just that my dad is like the opposite of your dad. He moved out a few weeks ago, 17 days ago to be precise. I haven't heard from him, so I was wondering how to get him to act more like your dad." Allie set her script down. "Violet, I'm so sorry. I was no longer in charge, no longer the line cuer, upper, comforter, advice giver. I was just my ordinary self again, back to clueless, pathetic Violet." It's not your fault your dad's acting like that, Allie continued. I know. I tried to shrug but couldn't even fake one. It's my mom's fault for nagging him too much. He could still call you, right? Or pick you up from school. Look, it hasn't actually been a few weeks. It's been a couple of weeks. Just 2 weeks plus a few days. Allie stared at me like I was a real estate agent trying to explain away mold damage on a house. He might be out of town, and maybe he lost my cell number. Allie raised her eyebrows. Couldn't email you? Your dad shouldn't, ghost you. I put down my script and crossed my arms. He didn't ghost me. You don't even know him, just because your parents dote on you all the time. Allie interrupted me. You don't know my parents either. You have no idea. Oh, please. I rolled my eyes. I saw them at dinner, and they acted all lovey-dovey in your doorway like Batman and Robin or Hansel and Gretel. What? Allie glared at me. Isn't Batman Robin's guardian? And Hansel and Gretel are brother and sister. They're not lovey-dovey. Whatever, I glared back at her. Can your parents drive me home now, or should I call my mom for a ride? You can stay, Allie said, but her arms were crossed now, too. I crossed my arms tighter. I want to go. And that's the symbol for pi. My mother opened the front door about 1/10 of a second after I knocked, as if she'd been waiting for me with her hand on the doorknob. She bombarded me with questions right away. How was it? Did you have fun? You had dinner there, right? I hurried past her, threw my backpack on the couch, which I knew she hated because she was freaky. She was a freaky neat freak, but I didn't care. Where's Dad? I asked loudly. Mom frowned. Did something happen at Allie's house? Don't change the subject, I shouted. Violet, Mom snapped. I took a deep breath and said very slowly, where is my father? Mom stared at me wide-eyed. I'd like to know why he hasn't answered my emails. Mom's eyes got wider. You emailed him? Is he mad at me because I acted bratty when he told me he was leaving? I plopped on the couch. No, Violet. Mom sat next to me and took a deep breath, like I had done. None of your father's actions are your fault. Not his leaving, it has nothing to do with you. I hated how her voice got all pitying, as if I was a starving orphan. Zemo, you should just sit down and be nice. If you sit down, you can stay. Zemo. I hated how her voice was all pitying, as if I was a starving orphan, even though I was much better off than a starving orphan, and even better off than Mackenzie, whose dad was dead, and who's been cast as a monkey in the school play, and whose very best friend in the world had totally betrayed her tonight. You emailed him? Mom asked again, but not in a shocked way this time. She asked it like emailing Dad was the saddest thing she'd ever heard, confirming her opinion that I was pathetic as a starving orphan. She scooted closer to me on the couch. When did you email him? Stop asking questions, I screamed. Not until you answer mine. Oh, Violet, Mom said, still not telling me anything about Dad. I stood up and hurried upstairs, my aching feet throbbing on each step. Once I made it to my room, I closed my door and sat with my back against it to keep my mom out. Then I took off my boots and rubbed my feet. My feet didn't stink after all. At least I couldn't smell them. But maybe that's like a fart situation where your own never smell as bad as other people's. I shouldn't have told my mom I emailed Dad. I shouldn't have told her anything. Not when she refused to tell me the one thing I needed to know. And I shouldn't have told Allie about Dad or gone to her house in the first place, being behind Mackenzie's back. Oh, and I shouldn't have told Allie about Dad or gone to her house in the first place behind Mackenzie's back. Oh, that makes more sense. Allie acted like my dad was the worst, but she didn't know anything about him. About the fun we had together a few times last summer when Mom was holding open house. Dad and I had snuck into the swimming pool of the Shoreham Arms, a giant apartment complex nearby. The pool was always crowded, but it was amazing on hot days. We'd jump into the water doing cannonballs and then sit on ratty lounge chairs to play poker. Mom had told Dad that trespassing set a bad example for me. Plus, she got mad when I came back sunburned. She didn't understand Dad either. I turned my phone back on, and Mackenzie had texted me 3 separate times. 5:03, want to see a movie? 6:15, where are you? 6:41, are you okay? I texted her back. I fell asleep. Sorry, dumb rehearsals are so tiring. Allie is so annoying. Movie tomorrow? And then, because maybe I really was the most pathetic person in the world, I checked my email again. Nothing from my dad. Of course not. Well, we got a little bit more time. We'll do another chapter. Chapter 13. Math problems. If X equals the lucky girl who won a leading role in the school play, and Y equals the 40 disappointed girls who tried out for the play but didn't get the leading role, what is the ratio of X to Y? 1 in 40? How many times more obligated is X to learn her lines than somebody in the Y group? Ooh, I don't know. If X doesn't learn her lines, should she feel 40 times guiltier than anyone else? So 1 in 40. Oh, she should feel 40 times more obligated to learn her lines, and she should definitely feel 40 times guiltier than anybody else. I'd gotten through rehearsals on Monday and Tuesday without saying one word to Allie, except in character as the lion. I wish I'd been cast as the Wicked Witch so I could yell at her. But after Tuesday's rehearsal, I hurried through the auditorium to get out of there as quick as possible while pretending not to care that Allie was sitting in the aisle seat right next to Diego and probably flirting with him. My backpack slipped down a little and hit Allie's arm. Sorry, I blurted out. I was sorry as soon as I said it. I didn't want Allie to think I was apologizing for how I acted at her house, or for anything else. So I added, but your arm was dangling in the aisle. Blame the victim, why don't you? Diego said with a laugh. Allie and I glared at him. Usually he was funny, but not that time. He didn't even look very cute. I hurried out of the auditorium into the parking lot and into Grandpa Falls Apart. Mom began interrogating. How was rehearsal? How was school go? How was lunch? Fine, 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 I said through gritted teeth. Though I smiled inside on the third fine when I thought about lunch. Mackenzie and I had acted super silly using carrot sticks and raisins to make stick figures we named Sammy Squarehead and Black-Eyed Bob. We assured them that even though they were made of food, they wouldn't be eaten. No one ever actually ate carrot sticks or raisins. Grandpa Falls Apart groaned mysteriously through the parking lot. Mom groaned too. Oh no. But we made it out of the lot and down the street with no more groans from the car or my mother. Violet, Mom said, do you want to help me get my new listing ready for an open house? No, I said. It's a beautiful house, and I'll be baking cookies and arranging fresh flowers. Tempted. No, I'm only tempted by baking pies. Remember we did that for the townhouse listing in Fullerton? Mom shook her head. Someone got peach filling on the ivory couch, and there were pie crumbs in every room. How about coming with me to the open house on Sunday? No, I said as Grandpa Falls Apart sputtered up our driveway. Are you sure things are fine, Mom asked. No, I said. I mean, yes, they're fine. Everything's fine. She turned off the engine. Do you? Mom, I interrupted. I tell you if school or rehearsal or lunch, everything else isn't fine. I flung open the car door, and you'll be the first to know if I ever become interested in real estate, which I'm not. So you don't need to ask. I got out of the car and slammed the door shut. Then I rushed into the house, right into my room, and slammed my bedroom door shut, too. I sat on my bed with my laptop and checked my email for the quadrillionth time so I could make my awful day even worse. Oh my God, Dad emailed me. Hello, Violet. I'm sorry I didn't respond sooner. I've been traveling abroad. I'm very proud that you have a big part in The Wizard of Oz. I know you'll do a wonderful job. Unfortunately, I doubt I'll get to come to your play. I will be out of town that week. Please understand that the reason behind my leaving has nothing to do with you. Also, the reasons I haven't been in touch the last few weeks have nothing to do with you and everything to do with me. Love you very much. Love, Dad. I knew he'd write me back. I read the email again, nodding at my laptop as if my dad were on the other side of the room. He said he loved me very much, and he said he was proud of me. I read it again. It was a perfect email. Okay, he couldn't come to my play, and he hadn't asked to see me. Hadn't told me he'd call, but still, I read it again. Couldn't come to my play, or wouldn't come to my play. Violet, dinner, Mom yelled from the kitchen. Coming, I yelled back, but then I read Dad's email 3 more times. All my work memorizing lines came in handy because I could recite my father's email by heart. Dinner was heated up canned pea soup and frozen fish sticks with lots of ketchup. Maybe if Mom were a good cook like my grandmother and Aunt Amber, who made delicious food every Thanksgiving, Dad would have liked being home more. Or if Mom treated our house like one of her open houses, making sure every room smelled perfect, Dad would want to live here. At dinner, I acted like my usual self, giving one-word answers to Mom's questions and mostly ignoring her chatter about new trends in paint colors, flooring versus carpeting, and other unfascinating topics. But I faked poutiness tonight. Every time I thought about Dad's email, especially his "I love you very much," I had to fight off a huge smile. Yeah, that's where we'll stop for the night.